Habarigani. Umoja. Umoja means unity. For the first day of Kwanzaa, we're going to do a craft that the whole family can do together. We're going to make a 3D paper kinara. Say kinara. Kinara is the candle holder that we place on our Kwanzaa table that holds the Mishuma Saba. Say Mishuma Saba. The Mishuma Saba are the 7 candles that we light each night of Kwanzaa that represent the Nguzo Saba. Say Nguzo Saba. The Nguzo Saba are the 7 principles that Kwanzaa is based on and that we try to live our lives by every day and celebrate at the end of the year. To make your 3D paper kinara, you will need 2 sheets of black construction paper, 1 sheet of green construction paper, 1 sheet of red construction paper, a few cotton balls, a yellow marker, tape or glue, and scissors. So you can see I've got my construction paper here. I've got a few cotton balls. I've got a yellow marker. I've got both glue and tape and a pair of scissors. If you need to pause the video now and at any time while we are doing our craft so that you can go get materials or to take your time making or crafting something, please feel free to do that. And then you can press play when you are ready to resume. So to start our kinara, we're going to make the base of the kinara. We're going to use 1 sheet of black construction paper, and we're going to turn it sideways or landscape. You may also call this horizontal because we're pretending we're looking at the horizon where the sun rises and sets. And you're going to fold it in half, bringing the long sides together. So just like this, I'm going to fold it in half. Then I'm going to fold it in half again, bringing those long sides together. So I'm going to end up with a pretty thin rectangle. Great. Now that I've got that, I'm going to unfold it to that first fold, and I'm going to cut 7 slits into this folded centerpiece. This is going to hold our make-believe candles. So we're going to make 7 equally spaced slits. They don't have to be perfectly equal, but if you want to use a ruler so that you can measure it out and cut them equally, you of course are free to do that. I'm not going to be that specific. It's okay if they're not perfect. I like to start with the center slit. So I can cut 1 here in the middle, and then I can cut 3 more slits on the left for the red candles and 3 more slits on my right for the green candles. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to make 7 equal slits. Be careful when you make your slits not to cut all the way down to that next fold, because your make-believe candles will fall out of your kinara if you cut too far down. So you only want to cut about halfway, maybe 2/3 of the way down. So I'm going to make that first center cut, and I'll show you what I mean. So here's my cut, and notice it doesn't go all the way down. It goes a little bit more than half, so about 2/3. And now I can make 3 more cuts on my left and 3 more cuts on my right. Take your time with your cutting. Children, have an adult help you cut or cut for you. Again, anytime you need to pause the video so that you are able to do something or follow along, that is perfectly okay. And then you'll just press play when you are ready to start again. So I've got 7 almost equally spaced slits, and my slits are ready to hold my candles. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to completely unfold my piece of paper, and notice that I have a fold that's coming in toward me. I want to take that fold and turn it outward because I want both of these outside folds to overlap. I want them to sit one on top of the other so that I can make a triangle. That's going to be the base of my Kinara. So again, when I unfolded it, I had a fold that was facing toward me, right? That piece of paper at the top is coming toward me. I want it to go outward. So I folded it back away from myself, press down so that the paper will hold that shape. And now I've got two flaps that I can overlap, okay? So I'm going to secure those flaps. I'm going to hold it together with either a glue stick or a few pieces of tape. Today, I'm going to use the glue stick. I think that it gives it a nice, strong hold. We don't have to worry about it being wobbly when we place it on the table. So I'm just going to put a generous amount of glue, a nice amount. We don't need too much, but just a nice amount along one edge. And then I'm going to put that edge outside of the other flap. So it is going to secure it, hold it together, and then we've got a nice triangular tube for the base of our Kinara. So we're ready to set that aside to let that dry. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the first candle. Do you know what color we start with when we light our Kinara? What's the first color candle that we light? You got it, it's black. The reason we light the black candle first is because it stands for our people. So today for Umoja, you will be lighting the center black candle. Okay, let's make our candle. To make each of our candles, it's almost the same as we made the base of our Kinara, with one big difference. We don't want our candles to be as large as the base of our Kinara. It wouldn't hold it up very well if we've got these really giant candles. So instead of making it that large, we're going to take our piece of construction paper and we're going to fold it in half. This time I brought the short sides together first. And then we're going to fold it in half again, bringing the shortest sides together first. So now it will be top to bottom. Let me just show you that again. So if I've got my paper sideways or landscape, I'm going to bring my short sides together for the first fold. Then I'm going to bring my short sides together again for the second fold. So it's going to be top to bottom this time. So what you'll end up with is a piece of construction paper that is now folded into 4 equal rectangles. Carefully take a pair of scissors and just cut along each fold. We're going to make 4 smaller pieces of paper, basically. Cut it in half, right along the fold, down the middle. And I'm going to cut this one in half as well, right along the fold. You really don't need to cut the second piece because there's only one black candle in our Kinara. But that black candle, because it's the first one that we light it every day for our people. So what we'll end up with is a rectangle that is about this size. Once we have that rectangle, we want to turn it landscape again, turn it sideways or horizontal. And we're going to do just like we did for the base of the Kinara. We're going to bring the long sides together to fold it in half. And then we're going to repeat. we're going to bring the long sides together to fold it in half. Then we're going to unfold it. And just like we had with the base of the Kanara, I've got a fold that faces toward me that I need to face outward. So I'm going to just press along that fold and force it to go outward so that these two outside pieces will now be able to overlap to create my candle. So once I have those pieces ready to overlap, again, use a glue stick or a piece of tape, couple of pieces of tape to just secure it, to hold it together. And now you have your black candle. So we're going to do the same thing this time with the red construction paper and the green construction paper. How many red candles did we say we would need? 3. You got it. We're going to make 3 red candles to go on the left side of our Kanara. Tomorrow, for Kuji Chagulia, the second day of Kwanzaa, we're going to light a red candle. Then on Ujima, the third day of Kwanzaa, we're going to light a green candle. So let's get those ready. Remember, we're turning our paper horizontal or landscape or sideways, and we're going to fold it, this time short sides together. And once we folded it in half, we're going to fold it in half again, short sides together, which means it's going to go top to bottom. Once I've got those 4 sections in my red construction paper, I'm ready to cut the sections. I'm going to need 3 of these sections. By the way, those extra sections of black paper that you had, the extra sections you'll have in the red and the green, keep them. We have 6 more crafts that we will do this week, and it will be great to have those scrap pieces of paper for later because you'll be able to do all kinds of things with them. Trust me, we want to use every bit of our materials that we have. It's going to make our crafts great, and it makes the earth great. We don't want to have any waste. We use all the great things that have been placed here for us. So I've got 4 sections now, and because I only need 3 candles, I'm only going to use 3 of these sections. And then this last section, I'm going to set aside and save it for my crafts later this week. So just like we did with that black candle and the Kanara, we're going to turn one sheet sideways, landscape, and then we're going to fold in half. Then we're going to take that and fold it again, long sides together. Okay, then we're going to unfold it, and there's that piece that's not ready to overlap yet. We're going to fold it back so that it is ready to overlap to make the red candle. So we're going to do 3 of these. Again, feel free to pause the video so that you can make all 3 of your candles. Taking your time and being careful with the scissors. All right, so once you've done 3 of your red candles, you're ready to move on to make 3 green candles. Again, same process. Green sheet of construction paper turned landscape or sideways. We're going to fold it in half, bringing the short sides together. And then fold it in half one more time, top to bottom. bringing the short sides together. And I'm going to unfold and I'm going to cut along the folds. How many of these did I say we would need? 3. We need 3 green candles, just like we need 3 red candles. The 3 red candles go on the left, and they represent the struggle and challenges of our people. And the 3 green candles go on the right, and they represent the fruits or the celebrations for success that we have. Okay, so I've got all of my sections. I only need 3, so I'm going to set one aside for later. And then just like we did with the other candles and the Kinara, we're going to turn it sideways, bringing the long sides together. I've got it folded once, and then I'm going to do it again. Once I've folded it twice, we're going to unfold, and we're going to take the section that's facing ourselves and fold it back out the other way so that we have overlapping flaps on the end. We're going to take the glue stick, put a little glue on one edge, and then hold it together so that now we have our green candle. So you're going to make 2 more of these, and you will have how many candles altogether? 7, because they are called the Mishuma Saba. Saba means 7. So once you've got all 7 candles, we can carefully place those candles in our paper Kinara. It should be nice and dry now that we've let it sit for a while, and it's ready to hold those candles. So we're going to start with the black candle in the center slit. We're going to grab our black candle, and we're going to hold it at the top of our triangle. So let me show you here. If we've got the triangle, we're going to hold it. We're going to grab it right here at the top, and we're going to carefully squeeze it together and place it into the middle slit. So you can see my candle holder is now holding my first candle that will light when? For Umoja, we light the black candle for Umoja. Nice. Now we're going to take our 3 red and place it on the left of that black candle. So again, I'm going to grab my triangle. I'm just going to press that top together to make it a really sharp fold. It's a little easier to get it into the Kinara if we do it that way. So you're just taking the top of the triangle. I just sharpened my fold a little bit more. And then I'm going to place it into the slit on the left. The first slit on the left. And this red candle is going to stand for Kujichagulia. If you're finding that your candles fall out of your slit, because it happens, that's why I cautioned us not to make our slits too big. It's okay to take a small piece of tape to secure each of your candles to the Kinara when you place them in, because we place them in the night that we light them. We wouldn't actually set up all of our candles in our real Kinara before we light them. You don't have to. You can place them in one at a time and then light them one at a time, or you can place them all in like we're going to do for our paper Kinara and then light them one at a time. But I am going to show you the right way to light them, so I'm going to place them in by alternating. So we started with the black for Umoja. Then we added a red on the left. I know it may not look that way with the camera for Kujichagulia. And then we will place a green on the right, and that will be for Ujima. So take your time and get each of those candles placed. It can be a little tricky. They do like to fall out, but that's okay. We can just use a piece of tape to hold it in. And I'm going to do that because my candles are just so the next red candle will go on the left, and that will be for Ujama. And then we'll place a green candle on the right. That will be for Nia. Then we'll place another red candle on the left. That is for Kuumba, or creativity, which you all are showing right now. And finally, we'll place a green candle on the right on the last day of Kwanzaa for Imani. Okay, thanks to the power of pause, I was able to put all 7 of my candles into my Kinara. It's a little challenging, it's a little tricky, but with a couple of pieces of tape, we get them to stand up straight and we get them all into those slits. Take your time. It took me a little while as well. So now I'm gonna set my Kinara aside for a moment, and I'm gonna take those cotton balls that I have, and we're gonna create a pretend flame to go into our candles. And we will put that flame in the candle on the night that we're supposed to light that candle. So today we're actually only going to put the flame into which candle again? You got it. The center black candle, which we light for Umoja, and we light it to represent our people. So I've got a cotton ball. I'm going to pull it apart. I'm going to try to basically make 2 cotton balls out of this one. So I'm going to very gently just pull it apart about at the center. So I've got 2 pieces. And then I'm just going to gently fluff that out just a little bit, not too much. Okay. Then I'm going to take that yellow marker and I'm going to give it some color so that it looks like a pretend flame. Just take your time, give that cotton ball some color. I just kind of lightly dab it. My strokes are really short and quick so that I'm not tearing up the cotton ball too much, because it does easily come apart. But we just want to give it some color, make it look like a flame. You want to add a little red or orange to it. Feel free to be creative. So once your cotton ball has a good amount of color to it, it's ready to be placed inside your candle to look like a pretend flame. So again, I've got my Kinara here, and because it's the first night of Kwanzaa, I am going to place my pretend flame right here. Okay, and take the time to go ahead and color the other 6 cotton balls so that they're ready for the other days. And then that way, you're just going to place it at the top of the Kinara, or excuse me, the top of the candle. for the correct day. All right, and that is it. We've made a 3D paper kinara. Awesome job. Join me tomorrow for our second craft for kujichagulia, self-determination. Wishing you a joyous Kwanzaa. Heri sa Kwanzaa.